And welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski.
My name is Ken Hunnemeder.
Classic pumpkin ale episode. It's October.
Yeah.
We gotta get one in. Are we running out of pumpkin beers yet?
I don't think so, because they keep coming out with more, and there's more breweries now and all this stuff. So
Right, but I think we're gonna have to start shooting this in June.
yeah.
This is it's hard to find a pumpkin beer at this point.
Yeah, they're coming out earlier and earlier. Everyone's trying to beat each other to the market. And I don't know. There's a percentage of people out there, beer drinkers, that just can't get enough pumpkin ale. So it's a fast seller.
Well, I know Jake. Shut
up!
He loves Shipyard's regular pumpkin beer, and I think he bought Chicago Lincoln Park's Benny out of them, and he has
It's a pretty big store. You might have a problem, Jake.
Yeah, he's
Shout out.
He came. He said he came home, and his fiance was like,
former fiance.
Don't you have enough? He's like, no.
So now he's drinking it at work, and you have to scold him and all this stuff.
But he's all hopped up on sugar. He's not even getting drunk. He's like, sugar.
Between the donuts and the pumpkin beers, that kid's in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So we do have a Shipyard Pumpkin here, but this is their Imperial version. It's their Smash Pumpkin Ale. Mm-hmm. And then we have this fancy
bottle of scotch.
Yeah.
This is from Long Trail. It's part of their Brush and Barrel series, and it's their Imperial Pumpkin. So it comes in this fancy little package here. Mm-hmm. It's an 8% Imperial Pumpkin Ale. So
right, I kept it in the fridge like that and all. So
yeah, because you're a classy motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, no. When you pull it out, it's like, whoa, what's this?
This dude's got class.
Should we start with that? I think the Smashed is 9%. So.
All right, we'll start with the fancy. Just to
let's see. I feel like there's a poster in there.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff.
Whoa. So what do we think? We're thinking $5 of packaging and poster here, signed poster.
Yeah, this was a $7 bomber, and it comes in this fancy tube with a poster that is actually signed. You're right.
And then we got the bottle here with a nice little tag.
That's a lot of packaging cost for a $7 bomber.
Wow. All right.
I don't think they're going to make any money on this beer.
There. You guys lost.
But either way, we win. We're going to drink this beer. Let's do it.
That aroma just filled up the room.
It did.
Spices and nutmeg and cinnamon and.
Yeah, it's but in a pleasant way. My threshold for spices and pumpkin beers is pretty low.
Sure. If you've been watching, you know that Ken does not like pumpkin beers. He hates this episode, I think.
No, I don't hate pumpkin beers. There are a few that I like, but I just find the spicing to be an issue.
Right.
Not just with the pumpkin beers, but any spice beer.
Right. I just haven't been ready for it because here in Chicago it's been 80, almost nonstop. So it's now that you're actually smelling the cinnamon and I don't know, fall flavors, it's oh wait, fall. Oh yeah.
So yeah, you get a nice spice character, but it's not too pungent where it's off-putting. Mm-hmm. So I'm liking that. And nice malt character.
Yeah, really dark in color too. Ruby.
Yeah, a little cloudy. Tan head.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Let's give it a taste. I feel like I think with any spice beer or something like that, you gotta take a few sips too and get that palate adjusted, especially if you're drinking IPA or something like that.
I feel like on this beer the spices take a backseat to that just rich malt character, so I'm liking that.
Yeah, a lot heavier in the aroma with the cinnamon and nutmeg, and it doesn't fill your mouth with spices, and you just dump the spice cabinet in your mouth.
Right. I mean, it's got a nice brown sugar note from that malt. Mm-hmm.
Is it? It almost tastes a little like flat tasting though. Like the carbonation seems low, but it could just be the heavy, I guess, malt flavor.
I mean, it's kind of a viscous beer, so I think you're losing some of the carbonation level with it just being so big.
Okay.
I mean, but you're right. But you look at like barrel-aged stouts, they're not really all that effervescent or anything like that. Yeah. But they're actually carbonated to the same level as other beers. It just doesn't come through when you have such a high residual sugar content.
Okay. I guess your mouth's not picking that up because of the sugars or the sugars.
I don't know if it's your mouth not detecting it. It's just like it has to fight its way through the viscous quality of that liquid.
Right. Because it's not flat. We're getting a lot of head and you mix it up and it bubbles. So.
Yeah, the cap popped when we opened it and all that. So don't.
Well, I think the packaging.
I think the beer is flat.
From.
it was the box that kept it carbonated. Maybe it was the poster. I'm not sure.
At least it's not going to get light struck in that box. Interesting. Maybe that was their plan. You could save it.
But I do like this. I like this beer because it's nice and palatable. Again, it's done in a very balanced way. I mean, it's a bigger beer. It's Imperial, so it is one that you kind of would sit by the fire and drink. I think out of a snifter.
Yeah, I was just thinking, sit by the fire, or you just finish breaking some leaves, like
just campfire beer.
Oh yeah.
If you have one of those around,
just
wherever you're at,
be like, bring the campfire over.
Yeah. Why not? So yeah, I'm impressed with the beer. I think it's good.
Yeah, from Long Trail. Long Trail, haven't had anything from them before, so it's a nice introduction to them, I think.
Well, very good. We're gonna finish these and get smashed on the other pumpkin beer.
All right, Long Trail. I think we're ready to put it back in the box. It's done.
Put it in the box. Put it on my mantle or my hearth,
right above the fire,
wherever, and frame the poster, and I should have a nice little bedroom going for me.
I like it.
But yeah, we've got Shipyard Smash Pumpkin Ale. They have a regular pumpkin ale, and this is kind of like their Imperial version of their pumpkin ale.
And they got a nice gold seal on there.
Yeah, like screw your fancy box. We got a foil thing that goes over the cap.
And I think it's stamped too. It's got a nice little stamp right there.
Yeah, I mean it's printed onto the label,
yeah, but it looks like a stamp.
So yeah, Shipyard known very much on the East Coast for their even just the regular pumpkin ale. So let's see what we get out of the
double. Well, I think the instant that poured out, you were like, "Look at that clarity."
Oh yeah,
looking, and I'm not seeing anything in this glass.
I mean, this is like Upper Peninsula river water right here. I would fish for trout out of this thing.
But yeah, that's nuts. Even I don't know. We've had many beers recently, and this is like insane.
Yeah. So that I mean that's not an easy thing to accomplish. So on the clarity, I mean this is a fine looking beer. Nice head on it too.
Yeah.
Kind of a rich pumpkin aroma.
Yeah, more, I think, pumpkin pie than the spices from the Long Trail.
Yeah, this has more of a bready quality.
Yeah.
Like we always talk about the Southern Tier Pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can actually taste the different components of the pie, like from the crust to the filling to even like sometimes the whipped cream, should you choose to use it on top.
Should you choose to taste it?
But you kind of get a little bit of that aspect here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Whew. That is
it's a big boy.
Sweet.
It is sweet. It's not super cloying though. I mean, you can tell you're taking in some sugar.
Yeah.
But it's not coating your mouth and becoming kind of disgusting. It's it's sweet, but kind of appropriately so. It's they're going for the pumpkin pie thing. Pumpkin pies are sweet,
right? You don't get as much like malt and maybe dryness and spices like the Long Trail. It's just kind of sweet and pumpkin pie and I don't know, more desserty.
Yeah, definitely.
Not campfire beer. It's almost a totally different beer.
I mean, I would agree. I mean, you're looking at something almost that you would treat like a port, much like you're talking about dessert beer. I mean, that's sit after a meal and have half a snifter of this and kind of sit around and swirl it would be pretty much appropriate.
Right, which is like I think the Long Trail was only 8%, or not only, but it was 8%, and this is 9%. So it's not like a insane amount to go up. And so I think the regular pumpkin beer from Shipyard is definitely more spiced and definitely not as sweet.
Mm-hmm. And you kind of expect that when you go to an imperial version of something, you're going to expect a little bit more sweetness. I mean, you're going to need that to balance out the additional alcohol, the additional hopping that it's going to take to keep it in balance. So, I mean, that's no surprise there. But I do think that they did a pretty nice job keeping it balanced with the spices.
Yeah.
So, in summary, these like
it's a sweet beer.
Both these beers though, like I think they accomplish what I'm most afraid of, and that's not overspicing the beer. Okay. I mean, one's definitely sweeter than the other, and I don't mind that in certain circumstances. It's just like, man, it's just like a spice cabinet in your mouth. Sure. I can't take it. So I think they went light-handed on their spicing, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. If you see either one of these, definitely pick it up and give it a try.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're gonna be sipping on this one for a little bit.
Yeah. We're gonna hop onto my bearskin rug and share a couple Nonic pints.
Cheers. Thanks for watching.
I don't know what that was.